Okay, guys, so this is good afternoon, happy Monday. So this is video 3. So what I want to focus on is something different. So the first video talked about national debt, the stock market, and the complicity of individuals, including and entities like CNBC. The second video talked about the difference between karmic debt, personal debt, and national debt because they're tied. So that was video number 2. And number 3, I wanted to focus on the debt, specifically the national debt, and how everything that's been happening in regards to Taco, him being the avatar, specifically the Heritage Foundation, and how they're implementing these strategies, policies, Project 2025, etc., almost as a Noah's Ark. And the reason why I say that is because there's a reason why they don't care of have in their big ugly bill basically dispense with low income people, Medicare, Medicaid, people with health insurance, etc. Why are they doing that? They're doing that because there is no money left, okay, for these individuals. So they're basically enriching themselves as they are creating basically a Noah's Ark. So they're enriching themselves. They know a crash is coming, crisis is coming, depression is coming. Some basically, cliff is coming. And so they are preserving themselves while that happens, enriching themselves while that happens. So here we go. So everybody that talks about the Heritage Foundation, they may want to understand this.
Heritage Foundation, debt, and the Noah's Ark strategy. 1. The unsustainability of the national debt. As we mapped, U.S. prosperity since 1981 has run on debt, from $1T to $37T today, with another $4, 5T projected from the beautiful bill. The elites, heritage, MAGA donors, corporate backers know this trajectory is unsustainable. They read the same charts. Market cap to GDP at 250%, valuations far above fair value, debt to GDP ratios approaching crisis levels. History shows what happens when debts can't be rolled forward. Depression, 1930s, systemic crashes, 2008, or hyperinflation. Foreign examples like Weimar Germany or Argentina. 2. Heritage's realization. Control the crash. Project 2025 isn't only about cultural issues or administrative reshuffling. At its core, it is about centralizing power, executive dominance over legislative and judicial checks. Why? Because when debt-fueled prosperity falters as early as 2026, when fiscal stimulus dries up, the system will enter crisis mode. Heritage seems to want to ensure that when the flood comes, their side controls the ark, dictating who gets bailouts and subsidies, stripping rights and protections so dissent cannot mount, locking down the courts and agencies so there is no institutional resistance. 3. Trump as the avatar. Trump is the perfect vessel, a populist frontman, skilled at distraction, chaos, and grievance politics. But behind him, Heritage supplies the policy machinery, stripping away checks and balances, deregulating corporations, weaponizing the DOJ, and consolidating state control over the economy. Heritage's bet is that Trump, or any MAGA-aligned executive, can sell the pain, telling citizens that sacrifices, lost rights, and authoritarian policies are necessary to save America, when in reality it secures their survival in a coming depression. 4. The Noah's Ark metaphor. Just as Noah built the ark before the flood, Heritage and its donors are packing their ark now. Wealth transferred to elites through tax cuts and deregulation. Courts packed to protect those gains. Rights stripped from labor, women, minorities, and dissenters to weaken opposition. Media partners, Fox, CNBC, and financial spin, social media manipulation, to control the narrative. When the flood, debt reckoning / depression hits, ordinary Americans will be locked outside the ark, while Heritage's chosen few ride out the storm. 5. the silence of Congress and the courts. Many ask, why don't Congress or the Supreme Court intervene? The answer, MAGA-aligned legislators and justices are complicit. Some share the heritage ideology. Others benefit materially from the same wealth transfers. And some fear political annihilation if they oppose the movement. This silence enables Trump's authoritarian drift, not as an accident, but as the plan all along. 6. The karmic connection. Personal debt. Americans are told to buy stocks to survive inflation, but they are pushed deeper into a bubble. National debt. Congress piles on trillions to fuel asset inflation, knowing it cannot last. Karmic debt. By sacrificing truth, rights, and balance for power, heritage, and MAGA deepen the moral debt of the Republic. Eventually, all debts come due. But Heritage's strategy is to offload the cost onto the public while securing their arc of power and wealth. 7. The global warning. For global investors and allies, this is not only about U.S. democracy. If the U.S. implodes under debt and authoritarian misrule, the ripple will destabilize global markets, alliances, and freedoms. Heritage and MAGA don't care. Their arc is nationalist, isolationist, survivalist. The lesson is stark. Watch what is being built before the flood comes.
Okay, guys, so nobody has articulated this to you in this way. Senator Whitehouse may have maybe come close to this, the senator from Rhode Island, but because he is the biggest proponent and acknowledgement of the Heritage Foundation, at least on a congressional level, on a Senate level, but nobody's really articulated this. So I've summed this up for you in these 3 videos so you understand clearly what is at stake here. So it is not the midterms, it is not the presidency, it is far deeper. And so I hope you understand the consequences of this, that this is not an ICE situation or undocumented situation. It is not a MAGA situation versus not MAGA situation. This is far deeper, okay? And so we're obviously going to be talking more about it, but I wanted to kind of articulate it and condense it in this format so we can have more of a conversation on this specifically, and more importantly, what steps do we need to do to start executing and implementing not only a resistance, but making sure that this arc does not get filled. Okay? Thank you.